it's not going to be like, well, I never. They know it. They know it. So they just try to say how brave you are, how you're going to word it, are you going to be diplomatic or not. Because if you ask them where the Muslims are going, you guys will burn in hell. You know, when the rapture comes, we'll all be raised to the cloud, the Muslims will be nuked, and then when all the nuclear stuff is gone, we come back to earth and live peacefully. Okay, that's nice. Let me tell you how it's going to go down. Anyway, the point is, just in a nice way. Now, we need to note here that you can't tell them where they're going, right? In Islam, we say in general, you know, Jews, Christians will not go to paradise, but we don't say this guy won't go to paradise. And I can't say, George Bush will go to the hellfire, right? I can hope. But you can't for sure say this guy will go to that. You can't. But collectively, as a group, people who commit shirk, yes, they will go to hell. Don't make the kafir come through with this kufr. This is a rule that the du'at made. It's just really good. If you tell them, when you're kufr, you'll be alright, you go to paradise, what's the need for them to become Muslim? And tell them, the Quran says Jews and Christians will enter paradise. So, you want to become Muslim? Well, no, you just gave me the dalil that I enter paradise, so why should I become Muslim? Don't make a judgment based on looks. Have you ever done that? You looked at someone and said, I won't waste my time with him. Ever done that?
Yes.
Anybody? Just a few people? Okay. What did that person look like? That you want to share? And what was it about them?
Just a homeless guy.
None?
A homeless guy.
Okay, homeless guy. Okay. What about you? Same thing? Okay. Anything beyond homeless that you just felt, Yes, sir?
There's a person dressed up in this emo
Gothic kind of thing, black on black, black nails, black teeth, everything, yeah? What? Classmate?
Yeah.
What was it about their look that made you just not?
His teeth.
His teeth? What are you doing, a dental commercial? The guy that has rotted teeth, you won't give him dawah? You don't want to talk to him. Maybe he has bad breath, I don't want to give him dawah. By the way, Tic Tacs are your friend when it comes to dawah. Have mercy on people. Okay, alright. So, you know what? Remember at the beginning, that hidayatul irshad, hidayatul tawfiq. You just have to direct people to the truth. That's your job. Doesn't matter what they look like. Doesn't matter. And the example I give, because this guy really looked extreme. We were at the Million Family March. This guy, tall, pale, white guy, big guy, wearing a sleeveless shirt, got tattoos from his neck all the way to his wrists. All kinds of devils and all kinds of weird things. He's got, his front 4 teeth, all gold. He's got bandanas, piercings, anywhere you could put one on your face. Alright? And white contact lenses. White contact lenses. Just imagine what this guy looks like. Pale, with all the blue and white contact lenses, gold and piercings, and he's walking like this. And I took a look at him. I saw him coming. And then I looked over here. I saw a man and his wife. I saw the birds singing. I saw the butterflies. Why would I waste my time with this guy? I actually looked at it and said, I don't have time for this shaitan. And I went over to these guys. And I spoke to them for a little bit. When I turned my head, my brother was calling us to hear him take the Shahada. He said, I got out of bed today searching for Allah. That's what he said. Got out of bed searching for Allah. And Allah brought him to some Muslims giving da'wah. He became Muslim quickly. And then he was telling us this. He said, look, I don't want to just do this right now and forget about it. He says, I want to become a good Muslim. I want to learn to pray. I want to become an excellent Muslim. I lost out on that good Shahada because I made a judgment based on looks. So I learned from that day, no matter what the person looks like, I'm going to give them da'wah. Right? I don't care if they have a telephone pole through their nose. Okay. Okay. Got that joke, huh? Alright, let's look at some of the techniques we have in the room here. Shiraz?
What if you're giving da'wah, like you don't have a partner, it's like Islamic Women's Weekends, it's all mixed, it's like many people. And another brother comes, like you're talking to a non-Muslim and another brother comes and just observes. He's just there. He's not in, he doesn't interrupt, he doesn't
No
move,
problem.
he just sits there and observes.
No, but one guy, right?
Yeah.
Not an issue. Another guy comes, I think maybe 3 is probably, at least in the States, 3 is not pushing it too much. I don't know what it is in Canada, but 3 is not bad. But what if you see 4 or 5 and you're alone, right? But someone across the room from the other table sees 5 people and you around someone, he might actually go to them. And he knows the other 4 are spectators. He might pull them aside and say, look, we don't want more than 2 people crowding around one person. That's it. But if, what if 5 people crowd, you have no partner, and so on and so forth? What are you going to do? Sir?
I'm just thinking, I know we can't make it a rule, say how many have one-on-one, but I feel like Canadian culture here, people get offended or intimidated if it's more than one person because it's what the Mormons do. They all travel with the 2, and it could be like a battle. You know what I mean? It's like they have 2 people have the upper hand. They're outnumbered. What is your opinion on that?
Well, I would advise you to not take my opinion on it. I would advise you to test it out and to see how that works. And you might even do a survey with Muslims as well. See, do you feel uncomfortable, because you guys are Canadian, do you feel uncomfortable when 2 people talk to you? And because right now we could go off of your hunch and my hunch. But let's test it and see. I don't know Canada well enough, but I'm hoping that 2 is not really a big problem. What do the rest of you people feel? 2 is a problem, put your hand up. 3 is a problem, put your hand up. 4 is a problem, put your hand up. No problem, put your hand up. Any number. Okay, you want to add something?
Yes, like people here, like they're much more emotional. Like the last time someone came up right to my face and just started like being honest and straight up, he was actually Australian. He was just going to school here.
Wow. Okay. All right. Should I ask?
What I meant by that is, it was actually me who was feeling uncomfortable.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're the sensitive one. Okay. Excuse me.
It's just like you get a sense. It's like, okay, what are you doing here? You're going to make him feel uncomfortable, and I'm just waiting for the brother who's spectating just to jump in with some random point.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. And actually, to be honest with you, I feel uncomfortable like that as well. Especially now, when oh, let's see what Brother Kamal is saying at this guy. They're expecting me to be saying some, laying down the heavy stuff on the guy. And you see all these brothers, they're so smooth. Like I'm talking over here, the non-Muslims over there. You see a brother trying to edge in like this, just another guy reading the paper right there. What are you expecting me to say? I'm saying the exact same stuff I'm telling you right here. There's nothing new, So, I remember one time, I went to New Jersey, give a dawah workshop on a Saturday. Sunday we went out for some street dawah, broke into groups and stuff. And we come back and we reconvened at the end of the day. And all the groups, the pairs, they were telling, about their experience, the number of shahadas basically they got. It was a number of days back then. So one guy, he was a young kid, and he attended the workshop and everything, and he's just waiting for my group to say what the number. So this group, 1 shahada. This group, 2 shahadas. And I'm watching this little kid. And then it came for our group. Okay, brother, come on, your group. And then this kid was just like, waiting, anticipating, and we said 0. And this kid was like, Brother Kamal, all that talk yesterday, this is the technique, and 0 shahada? Yeah, it's not magic. It's not like I've got something phenomenal that I didn't tell you, that you got to sneak up behind me and hear it. That's how he does it. Remember, Allah does the rest, you do your part. Allah. Yes, sir.
The question is, lots of times people raise this question about Rasulullah marrying Aisha. So if you're saying that you don't want to be evasive and stuff like that,
you address it.
How do you address the issue not being evasive? I'm talking about maybe just give an example specific for this issue.
Right. Well, okay. All these issues we're going to come and answer them, inshallah. What I'm trying to do right now is tell you that if someone does ask you a question about an issue, you address that issue. Don't try to run around and escape it. How we address the issue, that's what we're going to discuss later on. But for now, what I want you to know is if someone asks you a question, don't escape it. It looks very bad. So answer the question. You might say, well, I don't know the answer. That's what we're coming to tomorrow, I think, inshallah. Yes, sir.
What about having more than more than one non-Muslim listening?
What about having more than one wife? What did you say? Yes, kidding, sisters. Just kidding. I love how when I do these things, all my jokes, like most of the sisters just don't find them funny. Go ahead.
What about having more than one non-Muslim listening to you? Like 2 or 3?
Fine. Fine.
Is that, you think
But if they start to, affect each other with their negativity, it's good to split them apart if you can. But if you can't, fine, talk to them. You can talk to 50 at one time if you want to. It's not an issue yet. It's not.
Because then you might have to address every one of them.
Yeah, it's sometimes not everything is within your control. It's not like you can always get the ideal da'wah situation. Sometimes you start talking to one guy, and he's actually there with 19 of his beer buddies, and they're all hammered or whatever. And what are you going to do now? You can't always get it the way you want. So you deal with your situation.
I have 2 questions.
Okay.
The first one is that when you are talking about going out in groups, what is the minimum number of brothers are actually going in one group? And the maximum number?
They break up into groups of 2, pairs. Just
Okay.
1, 2, that's it. But your whole crew, let's say you took a bus of 50 people to hit this, let's say Central Park in New York, a big place, and then they break up into groups of 2. That's it.
Okay, but then when you come back, you're reporting to one Amir or something?
We're just sharing. You could have an Amir if you want, but we're just talking about, we all sit down. I usually insist that the du'at come and sit and talk after the event, because if we're 10 groups and we all spent 1 hour out there, if I get this person says, this group tells us their report, this guy asked us this tough question, this is how we answered it, or how do you think we could have answered it, and then we all put our, do the input. So when you share, when all the 10 groups talk about their 1 hour of experience, it's as if you got 10 hours of experience from their feedback. That's why, by the way, if you look at any salespeople in the audience, men or women, great. Now, I don't know which kind of environment you work in, but a lot of times you'll find that within a sales team or sales force, they have the short cubicles. The cubicle wall doesn't extend above the desk. Purposely, they do that for the sales team. Why? They want the sales team to talk together. They also sometimes give them breaks, companies, where it's all sales oriented. They give them lunch break together. They want them to talk so they can share different techniques. So we use the same technique with dua. I want to hear your experience. I'll learn from it, And, I'll learn your way. And that's why, honestly, that's why tomorrow I will ask you how you would answer the question. And so many times I would hear such a perspective that I never considered before, Over the years I've got some excellent responses, things I never considered. So I benefit from your experience, and you benefit from my experience. And then, just like the sales team, the sales force. So that's, go ahead.
The second question is, do you have some sort of arrangement, just like for the brothers? Do you also recommend the same stuff for the sisters as well, or?
Yeah, most of the things that we're talking about today and tomorrow can be done by brothers and sisters. Okay, I wouldn't recommend sisters have a weekly or a daily table in front of a metro station or bus station, But I would recommend they do that in probably a school or a safer place, something like that. But generally, for the most part, most of the things that the men can do, the sisters can do. Sometimes there's some things to tweak here and there. Allah Ta'ala. There was another question, your sister?
I don't know if this is as much of a question as an observation, but in my personal experience living in Canada, a lot of times they're really afraid to offend. So whenever they want to ask me questions, they're always like, well, I don't mean to offend. And I find that they're a lot more anxious. I don't know how to get them comfortable. And I let them know that it's always okay to ask. But
that's it. That's the right way. There's nothing you can do beyond that. You just let them know. No question is offensive, and no question is not a good question, and I'm here, that's what I'm here for. Feel free, please, to talk to me. Just like that. Use their name. Do all these things. Smile. Do all these things that will get them to try to open up to you a little bit. So that's it. There's nothing beyond that I know of that you can do. Okay. Let's look at some creativity over here. Handshakes. I'm talking about men with women and women shaking hands with men. What are your ways of avoiding handshakes? Share with us. Yes, sir.
I just these.
You're serious, huh? That's actually one of my jokes that I tell you.